Hello, today we're going to look at one of the questions a lot of people who want to create an online course have been asking. And that question is, what if I don't feel competent to create an online course? You see, a lot of prospective course creators who have felt the need to create their course have been taken aback by this very question. Well, today's presentation is given to you by Joe Okoro. I'm a digital marketing coach. So today we are going to look at a very important question that many have asked and what you can do about it if this has ever crossed your mind. So, a lot of people who have thought about owning a course have been concerned about this very thought going on in their head. And that thought, as I said earlier, is I do not feel competent enough to create a course. So, if this has ever occurred to you, what should you do? What are the steps that you should take to overcome this negative thought in your head? Do not let this feeling to stop you from going ahead to create a course if you had the intention of creating one. Well, if you have felt this way, I want you to know that you are not alone, because the truth is, the fact that you feel this way doesn't mean that you don't have what it takes to create a course. Take note that this is just a feeling in your head. It's only your head, okay? It's just a feeling and it doesn't make it true. Once you learn how to overcome this feeling, then you will find out that you actually have more potential than you know or than you think. One thing you should know is that having knowledge gives you confidence and it helps you to overcome the feeling of incompetence. And that is the main reason why a lot of people feel that they do not feel confident enough to create a course, because they feel that they don't have the necessary knowledge that will give them the confidence they need to create a course. But should that stop someone who had the intention of creating a course from going ahead with it? Well, the answer is no. So if you are having that feeling in your mind, today you are going to learn how to overcome that negative feeling of incompetence. So to help you overcome this feeling, I want you to know this. Each time you are faced with the challenge of a new learning, if you're going to learn a new skill, okay, take note that there are 4 stages that everyone goes through, okay? And those 4 stages are called the 4 stages of competence. We're going to look at them one after the other. And these stages are the reason why a lot of people feel that they are not competent enough. But if you understand the 4 stages of competence, you will know that this can be taken care of. Okay, so let's look at them one after the other. Now, the first stages, let's take the first stage. The first stage of competence is when you are introduced to a new skill or activity. The beginning, when you are introduced to a new skill or activity. At this point, you don't know how to do that thing right or wrong because you are totally new to it. In fact, it is at this stage that the feeling of incompetence continues to disturb you. Okay? So the first stage is when you are totally new to the whole idea. Okay? Even though you are interested in it. So the second stage of competence is when you start going through that activity, when you start learning about that activity, maybe through the aid of a coach or through self-learning, maybe from books or from articles, podcasts, videos you see online, and you start to learn how this activity works. Okay. At this point, once you have started learning it, this is when you know when you are doing it right or wrong. At this stage, even though you are learning it, you are still struggling to learn how all this activity is, what it is all about. Okay. And that is the second stage of competence. Take note that the 4 stages of competence takes you from not knowing about that thing to knowing it in its entirety. So what's the third stage of competence? Well, the third stage of competence is when you continue learning in this new skill or activity for some time. And then as you learn, you practice it. At this point, you start to get used to that activity. Okay? At this point, you start to overcome the discomfort you experience at the beginning of stage one, okay? Because you are gradually getting used to it because of regular and repeated practice. And at this point, your confidence level is going up by the day. So at this point, you have totally understood what this new skill set or this new activity is all about, and you are becoming very, very good at it. So that's the third stage of competence. So the first stage of competence is when you have become a master. Of course, with time and practice, you become perfect at this stage because you have repeatedly practiced and practiced and practiced it. At this point, your knowledge of the skill or activity has become so much that you have an unwavering confidence, okay? And the activity has become second nature to you. In fact, you are now comfortable doing it. You are now a professional, or what they call an expert. So these are the four stages of competence from stages 1 to stages 4. So if you understand these four stages of competence, it will help you to understand that even though you may feel you are not competent enough in the beginning to create a course, if that is what is in your mind, by the time you go through four stages of doing anything in your life, you can see that you can actually overcome this competence issue that you are having. So, if you don't have the confidence to start a course, take note that as soon as you engage yourself, you must go through these four stages and become better. And everyone who goes through it overcomes it at stages 3 and stages 4. Okay? So everyone who is exposed to a new field of knowledge experiences the feeling of incompetence. If you're going through this, just know that this is very, very natural, and it is very normal. And know that you can do it if you brace yourself up for it. Just give yourself the opportunity to go ahead with it. Do not allow the feeling of incompetence stop you from moving ahead to do whatever you want to do. Okay? It is a very negative feeling. The understanding of the four stages of competence should help you to know that if you set your heart to it, definitely you'll be able to overcome it. So what do you do when you feel incompetent? What are the steps you should take? So the first step you should take is you need to take up the challenge, okay? And take note that you should have to expect the discomfort that comes from learning a new skill. So let's say you still feel incompetent at creating a course. This is the first step you need to take. Give yourself a go. Go ahead for it. Take up the challenge. That's the first step. So the second step is, as you have taken up this challenge, you want to keep an open eye, okay, on your achievement, okay, and track your progress. Track your progress. In the beginning, it will not be easy, but take note that if you are learning it, the discomfort is a normal and natural thing. It is going to come. So, as you continue and persevere in learning this, you will become good at it. So, the third thing you need to do is you need to keep on practicing. Practice, practice, and practice more. And before you know it, you will become good at this thing that you feel that you cannot do. You will overcome the feeling of incompetence and have the full confidence to create your own course in no time. So if that thought has ever crossed your mind and you want to create a course, or it has always been in your mind and you still feel that you are not competent enough, take note that this very, very presentation is a wake up for you. Okay, it's a wake up call for you to take the bull by the horn and take up the challenge and learn that new skill. Okay, so if you still need help with online course creation, I'm inviting you to watch a free video presentation on how you can create and launch your online course. It is called the 7-figure online course presentation. This free video presentation will take you step by step. What are the things you need to do to set up a course from beginning to the end? What you need to know, okay? So I'm asking you to go ahead, use the link in the description below this video to access this video presentation, okay? So if you enjoyed this video training, please like, subscribe, and please leave your comment. And don't forget, go below this description in this video to have access to the 7-figure online course presentation. And at the end of the day, you will overcome that feeling that you always have, the feeling of incompetence. Goodbye and have a wonderful day.